What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Living in Tampa Bay Q&A. Excited to be with everybody here. I've got the hostess with the mostest, Miss Stacy Amon. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Heck yeah, and excited to be with you, Stacy. After last week's, wow, what a live stream, you guys. Can I just say first and foremost, thank you to everyone who watched live with us and interacted during the live stream, and everyone the 44,000 people who watched afterwards. Wow, just incredible. A hot topic talking about Governor DeSantis wanting to get rid of property taxes here in the state of Florida. So it was an incredible conversation. Thank you all for your contributions. And if you are tuning into this live for the very first time, my name is Juan, Alcalá, and Stacy and I help people all over Tampa Bay buy, sell, relocate, and invest here. And we talk about all things Tampa Bay, what it's like to live here, what it's like to work here, what it's like to play here. And most importantly, we want you to know that we make this as interactive as possible. So if you're coming here and you're hoping to get the evening news and just straight to the facts, while we will deliver a ton of value, we're probably not going to do it in that method. Okay, we're here to have conversations and connect with our audience because our viewers are part of our community and we are grateful to have them with us. Is that a fair way to put that, Stacy?
Yeah.
Okay, got a lot of comments this week.
Well said, Juan. Well said.
We got a lot of comments, and I appreciate people commenting on our content afterwards. But it was like, hey, we don't need to talk to the audience. Just get to the point. I was like, well, while I appreciate what you're asking for, that's not what we're here to do. We're here to connect with our community. So we're grateful to be able to do that. We love it. We enjoy it. So I'm going to invite you, first and foremost, to let us know where you're watching from. Feel free to ask questions throughout the entire evening about anything that's important to you regarding the Tampa Bay area. Obviously our expertise is in real estate, but we're local experts. This is what we focus on is what is happening in and around Tampa Bay, because we love it here. We love sharing our community, both, on Saturdays in our curated content and our live streams here on Tuesday. So we're here every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Happy to share the community with you guys and happy to connect. And let me just say hello to everyone who's chimed in nice and early here. We got Brian Cook is in the house, who we met with this week. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate connecting with you and Abby. That was a wonderful conversation. And thank you for trusting in us and helping you guys on your relocation journey. Love it. It was an awesome conversation. Stacy was poor Stacy. She was leaving an appointment and she kept coming in and out of the conversation. She got done. She texted me. She's like, I need the recording.
I know. I hate it when that happens. Like you're driving and it's just like out of nowhere. You just lose connection and then you come back in. And every time I try to unmute and talk, then you totally lost me. So
yeah. It was definitely a little bit of a challenge, but it was awesome connecting with you, Brian. So thanks for you and Abby trusting us, like I said. And tonight, y'all, we're going to cover some topics. We're definitely getting back into the taxes topic because everybody caught on to that. And it is now everybody's talking about whether we should cancel homeowners taxes. And you guys left a lot of really good comments on how to approach it. And I thought it was great. And Stacy, I actually got a direct message about somebody who was tasked on doing the study. Now, this is an allegation. So I want to make sure that I don't know how to validate this source yet, but it says this person said they were literally hired to do that survey to find out if sales tax could be increased enough to cover the property tax. And what they said is at the current rate, it would only take about a quarter of the state sales taxes to pay for property taxes. And I was like, what? Yeah, that's fascinating. So again, I haven't seen the study. I didn't validate the math. What I'm saying right now is conjecture and speculation, and I'm not afraid to admit it. But here's what I asked them for the study. I said, hey, I would love to see that data. All right. So I'm asking on your guys' behalf, just so you know, but we're going to talk about the taxes again. We're going to talk about the Elevate Florida program, which is really exciting. The question I asked tonight is, are Florida homeowners primed to win in 2025? We're going to talk about insurance premium decreases in 2025.
I know.
I don't even, Yeah, there is a party going on right now in Tallahassee, and I am here for it. And then we're also going to talk about what was the other one we were going to talk about? We're going to talk about Whole Foods, Chick-fil-A, because I mean, who doesn't love the Lord chicken? And also Lifetime Fitness, which is coming to the area too. So I'm excited to talk to you guys about that. And Stacy's got some cool stuff to share. So again, love to know where you guys are watching from, where you're tuning in from, where you're listening from. Vlad, my man, he says, let's just cut to the chase and say Tampa, Florida is the best place to live on earth. He doesn't even live here yet. I love it. Yes.
He's living
Let's
the
cut
dream.
to the chase. We appreciate you, Vlad. That is the way to go. Shout out to Vlad. Follow him on socials. He's fantastic. Lobo's back in the house. What is up, my man? I feel like you've been missed for the last few weeks. A couple for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just me. He hasn't been here for at least 2 weeks,
No,
right?
I don't think he's been here. We're gonna start keeping attendance.
That's right.
I think Denise has been skipping. Chris has been skipping. We're gonna call them out.
You guys better get on your game, or you're not going to get that gold star from Stacy. That's going to be a problem, let me tell you. Awesome. Shandlin says, finally watching you live. Well, welcome. Usually I listen to the recording. On my way to work on Wednesday morning, watching from St. Louis. That's awesome. Thanks for letting us know you treat us like a podcast. We appreciate that. And let's be real. You listen to Stacy's sultry voice, because I mean, I'm just the talking head up here. So what do you say? Vlad says, yeah, I skipped a few. No gold star today, sir, but you have a chance to earn it back. You can get a half a star for today, because you know you were honest and you told on yourself. So we appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic, man. What a blast. So our community is awesome, as you guys can see, but let's jump into some of these topics. So Stacy, let's get right back into the the conversation regarding property taxes, because this is fascinating. So last Monday, the governor floated a tweet on X that said that he would like to see property taxes abolished. And I mean, if nothing else, that's a great way to get a clap on the back, and a clap from the audience for sure. And for me, I'm always fairly skeptical of how people approach politics and what politicians say, because I was taught at a very young age, right? There's promises, there's plans, and then there's policy. And usually you never make it to the third one. You know, most plans die well before they become policy. And once, what you're told and how it arrives are usually two different things as well. And I'm not on here to pivot sides or whatever, but I am for not paying property taxes on something you already own. And we got into this last week, Stacey, and I want to cover some of the comments that we got. I should probably share those. They were wonderful. Just on people's different approach to take this. Like I said, the one person messaged me and said, I was one of the people who was tasked with finding, doing the audit here and finding out what this would really cost. And I thought that was a very interesting statement. Again, I'd love to see the data. But there were people saying that property, raising the sales tax, they would be okay with. So again, you're still trading a tax for a tax. But what I loved about it is you could no longer take somebody out of their home. They get to choose how they spend money, right? You and I can choose if we want to spend more or less money. Our fixed expenses are our fixed expenses. We understand that. But if you want to buy something else or extra, that's a way to control that. Now, again, I don't want more taxes. I want less taxes, just like every other homeowner in this state and every other resident in this state. And matter of fact, most residents in this country, right? There are sane heads. I would rather see them cut on frivolous spending than foreclose on somebody or put their home up for a tax lien auction, right? Senior citizens especially, right? Primary residents especially. But there's ways to do this. And I thought that the audience was amazing. So if you want to know what we're talking about, we did a live stream last Tuesday where we talked a whole hour about the taxes. And there were so many great approaches to the problem. So if you are at work for the state or in legislature or in state Congress, hey, go look at the comments. You got some smart residents who are really good at coming up with ways to approach this problem. And I'm listen, Stacy, we don't pay a tax on the car that we buy. Once we own it, we own it. right?
True.
And now, like, when you listen, if you give your house to your kids, while we don't have an estate tax in the state of Florida, shout out to that, because I know lots of states do, right? Your children still have to pay taxes on that home well after that mortgage is gone if they want to keep it, correct? Right.
Correct.
So what do we really own? We're just renting. We're renting our land, right? And we own our deed. Right. And it's basically on loan to us. So like, I know I'm getting really strong on this right now, but this idea is permeating the public pretty deep. And people are talking about it. I got so many messages. Like I said, people were like, hey, when's that going to take place? I was like, well, hold on. This was an initiative. It was a tweet basically thrown out. But this thing's got legs now, y'all. And it is up to us to run with it. So I love this as a Florida resident. I love this as a Florida homeowner. Okay. I love this concept. I realize that somebody's going to have to take a haircut here because that's the way the world works. But I also recognize that people are probably spending more than they need to on most things. And that's what happens when you handle other people's money, right? You don't have to worry about the budgets and things like that. Now, I know that there are great people in office who are good stewards of the resources we give them. But I also recognize there are knuckleheaded opportunists who take advantage of those things as well. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it for my kids. And if I sound opinionated on this, I am. All right. So if that's you, you're my people. You are my people. And we need to take care of this. So I love that. That's the first thing I wanted to get into. So we can definitely continue to talk about this topic. Again, this is an ideal only that the governor floated. This is not a proposal at this point. If we keep pushing on it, it might. So this is something worth looking at. So I definitely want to keep this in our forefront so we can talk about this with local officials as well. Because it would, remember, property taxes are collected at a local level, not a state level. The governor does not have control over that. Okay, there would have to be a vote, and us as citizens would have to vote to abolish our local property taxes. So that would be county and municipality. Okay, so if you want that, get on the horn, send an email, send a letter. Let's start having the conversation because I am here for it. All right, what about you, Stace? What do you think? Now
I'm
you had a
all
week.
for it. I'm all for it.
Yep, totally. Am here for it. And y'all, we're going to get into this next. We're going to talk about the Elevate program, which is another really cool program. But I want to say hello to everyone who joined late because I know we've had more people jump in here. Jim, good evening, sir. He says, we are debating a move to Florida from what does that say? Minnesota. Minnesota. I'm like Ron Burgundy. If there's anything on the screen that isn't supposed to be there, I'm going to read it. Forgive me. I realize that was probably just a typo. Minnesota for the winter months. Why Tampa versus the Atlantic? Oh, that's a great question. First of all, if you're a Midwesterner, the Tampa area is going to feel a lot closer to home. Is that fair to say, Stacy?
Yes, definitely.
And where are you from originally?
Indiana.
And how long have you been here?
11 years.
Yep. And it's like the Midwest with sunshine, right?
Yeah.
So that's the best way I put it. First of all, that's first thing. Number two, our sunsets, which are really number one. Sunsets beat sunrises every day of the week. And there's nothing like a Gulf Coast sunset. That cotton candy sky will wreck you for life in the best kind of way. It is so beautiful. Getting out there and the smell of salt and having that at every single night to go to bed to is just incredible. So those are just a few of my favorite things. We can go on and on and on, man. The city's laid back, the tempo of it. It's not frenetic like the East Side. The East Side's just more, the pace is faster. I don't think it's a right or a wrong. It's just what's right for you. So it's a good question, Jim. You know, ultimately you have to ask what is your ideal lifestyle and then suit out communities that match that. If you're a morning beach goer and you want to see the sun rise every day, then that's a great way to go. But for us, like I like going to the beach in the morning during the summer and walking because you stay cooler on the West Coast because the sun doesn't come up over the houses until about an hour after being up, which is nice. So you don't bake like a clam. And on the East Coast, you don't get to hide from that, but your sunsets will be more relaxed, right? So like yin and the yang, man, you got to take what makes sense for you. But there's lots of reasons to love either side. but we love the shallow, warm Gulf beaches, and the ocean. The Gulf does not get really aggressive unless there's a big storm out there, unlike the ocean, which, you guys, depending on where you are on the Atlantic side, you can go out 12, 13 feet and already be down 50, 60 feet really quick. So we love having the ability to go out and swim around and play and have the kids do the same. So great question, man. Great question. All right. Who else we got here? Let's see. We got Steve. Good evening, sir. He says, I live in Oregon, but was born in Orlando, Florida. Whole family lives in Dover, Florida. We're considering selling my home in Oregon and moving to Florida. I have a 9-month-old daughter. Where should I go? The state is huge. Oh man, great question, dude. I don't know. I need to know more about what you're trying to accomplish before I could ever give any advice on that specific question. But it is a wonderful question. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to invite you to connect with us personally, Steve. You can reach out. I'm going to put a link to contact us in the chat for everybody. And then feel free to schedule time to have a call, man. I'm happy to have a conversation. Whether you move here or not, we can definitely point you in the right direction. Again, what matches your ideal lifestyle? Those are the communities you're looking for. And I mean, you can live with a daughter anywhere in this country. Why Florida? So good question. Good question. I appreciate it. Pete from Pennsylvania. Good evening, Pete. Happy to see you. He said to raise his family. Yeah. Again, connect with us, man. I don't want to just blindly give you advice. I really would like to try to make sure I understand what you're trying to accomplish from work and retirement, whatever it is for you guys. So we want to make sure we do it right. Lobo, my question is always, when do we get on the flip side? What do we get on the flip side if they do that? Yeah, I mean, great question, man. Like, Stacy, what do you think is the most likely thing to occur if they were to abolish?
Well, tax? I think that what everyone's been talking about, the sales tax, increasing sales tax. Yeah. So.
Yep. And if that
will increase some of your monthly expenses.
Yep. Yeah, but they won't come repo your home.
Right.
If you don't pay your taxes, right? Which is a big thing. And again, they're taxing you on unrealized gains. That's the biggest frustration. Like, they don't tax our 401ks or our pension accounts on unrealized gains. They don't do that anywhere else in our economy, right? Meaning that, like, your taxes go up because your values go up. Yes, we're protected with the homestead exemption here in the state of Florida, but you're still being taxed on unrealized. They increase it based upon the value that you only realize if you sell. And oh, by the way, then you pay taxes. Right? Like, it's nuts. It doesn't make any sense to me.
You pay taxes to keep it, and you pay taxes to sell it.
Yep. You pay taxes to purchase it, right? With doc stamps, like, you pay taxes. It just doesn't stop. So it's a good question, Lobo. It's fair. All right. Good evening, Kevin. Hope you were doing well, my friend. Hope the Lord has blessed you today. You had a good one. Love.
Mark, Kevin is present for today.
Gold star, my man. Gold star. Oh, I love it. Craig says, after living on the Atlantic side and now in Clearwater, I can attest that West Palm has 300 flights a day in New York and New Jersey area and 1 flight to Chicago. Tampa is definitely the Midwest, which with better weather. Yeah, I love that, man. And that's the first time I've ever said that out loud, I think, but that's ultimately how it makes me feel too. Right. And some of you are hearing that. You're like, oh my God, that's terrible. No, it's not. The people in the Midwest are amazing. Right. Hardworking, salt of the earth. Like, they're incredible. Right. I think that they're a great blend of, like, move fast enough to get the job done, but are laid back enough to not to have to kill themselves every day, right? Or sorry, I'm not supposed to say that on YouTube, but not destroy our bodies trying to get it done. And, like, Tampa is just that vibe. So thanks for sharing, Craig. I appreciate that, man. And we feel the same way. We absolutely feel the same way. DeMarco, what is up, my man? Good evening from Columbus. That's fantastic. What else we got? Jane, good evening, Jane. Almost missed you. You did not. You're here. You still get your gold star for the night. I know you missed that conversation, but Stacy is taking attendance this evening, Jane, and you still get your gold star. So you should be very proud of yourself. We're grateful to have you here. But let's get into, Stacy, these other programs that I think are really cool. This Elevate one, again, this is so new. Well, technically it's not a new program, but I'm sorry, this one is. The other program was not, which is the My Safe Home in Florida. That program's not new, but let me share this with you guys. So this is a brand new program, a first of its kind program called Elevate Florida. All right, y'all. Now you can find, I'm going to put this link right in the chat so everybody has access to it. And I'll put it in the description later for those of you watching live so you can see it. Also, it'll be in the right toolbar of your screen when you're watching this later. But I put the website in there so you guys can go check this out. floridadisaster.org. So this is the Division of Emergency Management in the state. And Stacy, they have launched a grant program. Elevate Florida is the first of its kind, a groundbreaking, I'm going to read you all the hyperbole here, groundbreaking statewide residential mitigation program. Mitigation means we're trying to lessen the risk, okay, for those of you who may not be familiar with that term. Led by the Florida Division of Emergency Management, this program is designed to protect homes and communities by reducing damage caused by natural disasters like hurricanes and floods. If you're watching the news right now, you probably saw that Key West had like 6 to 8 inches of rain yesterday that they were underwater. It's crazy to see that, Stacy. Elevate Florida is designed to expedite the entire process and complete a residence mitigation project. Now, what is a mitigation project? Well, windows, doors, raising your home off the ground. That's why it's called Elevate Florida. Now, for those of you who may not be aware, last year, Hurricane Helene scooted up the coast, the Gulf Coast there. Technically, it was almost 100 miles off the shore of Tampa Bay, but we had storm surge in St. Pete and Clearwater and Sarasota that reached over 4 feet into these homes. My hometown there in Indian Rocks Beach, we were in there trashing people's houses out and cutting drywall up to the windows because they were all underwater, and it's so difficult to see that. But what this program does, if you didn't know, you can raise a block home or a wood home off the ground. Well, that process is very expensive, to the tune of $200,000 or $300,000, depending on the size of the home. But it is cheaper than rebuilding, correct, Stacy?
Yeah.
Right, significantly cheaper. So what they do is they come in and they drive pilings into the ground, and then they put your home up 13 feet on block. All right. Now, this is just one of the things you can apply for. If your home was damaged, like mine, Stacy, we can apparently apply for this grant, which is pretty cool. The eligibility says that you have to be over the age of 18. You need to be a U.S. citizen. You need to be the legal property owner of the residential property. This is important. Residential, not commercial. So if this is a business, you don't qualify for that specifically. It does talk about communities, but not businesses. And be able to contribute, here's another one, up to 25% of the total cost of the project. So this is the eligibility requirements. That's pretty loose.
Yeah.
Right. There's some more details here, but again, check the website and see how it applies to you. Okay. Now the program benefits. Let's go into the program benefits. Elevating residential properties offers a multitude of advantages for individual property owners and neighborhoods, communities in the entire state of Florida. This is a proactive approach that enhances safety and value in individual properties. Okay. So we understand that. What does it do? Well, it's significant, offers significant cost and savings to homeowners. 75% to 100% of the cost of their project can be funded, right? Or for future flooding damage to keep it mitigated, right? Lower insurance premiums. Once you elevate your home, if you're in a flood zone, technically you raise your house up out of the floodplain, you don't need to carry a flood policy on the actual structure. You'll just have to cover it on the garage, which is pretty neat. So your property values go down. That's why they build them on stilts on the coast. And I know you might be hearing this. Well, I don't own a beachfront property. Welcome to Florida, where the highest ground in the state is 383 feet, and most of it is barely 20 or 30. Okay, so we still have areas that flood a lot when it rains. So this is another thing that can help those homeowners. It will increase your property values if you do things like add hurricane impact windows. If you were to raise your property, like those things do add value, right? Because they lower the cost of ownership. And then comprehensive support. So it talks about the benefits of the program, the costs associated. Again, federal grant. Now, again, this is federal money coming to the state, and the state offers it in the form of a grant. The federal grant funding will cover at least 75% of the project cost. meaning the property owners will need to invest up to 25% and consider that as significant savings, which it absolutely is. So I don't want to read the whole website here. Again, floridadisaster.org. That is in the chat. Okay, you guys can find it there. If you're watching this later, you'll be able to see it in the description. Also, if you just join us this evening, we already talked about the governor potentially trying to get rid of property tax, which we love. We're talking about the Elevate Florida program right now, which is if you go to floridadisaster.org, you can find it on their website. Just click on the link that I put there for you guys, and you can go through the requirements and how to apply. That's the last thing I think we should cover there, Stacy. Is how to apply. So there's a portal here. You can apply for it. It tells you exactly what the requirements are. So photos of the structure, all 4 sides, including the rear, front, and both sides. Insurance declaration pages, if you have them available. Elevation certificates, if they're available. Ours are available at the county, so you can see that there, which is pretty cool. Geotechnical reports or soil studies, if applicable. Okay. Flooding photos from high water marks, insurance claim information that you've had, substantial damage letters received, and then combined income on your federal tax form. These are the requirements that you have to put into the portal. They'll go over it. And as long as the money's there, because how the grants work is they run until the money's out. So if you are interested in this, you need to jump on it. What were you going to say, Stacy?
I would love to see the process. I would love to see them elevate a home. I think that'd be cool to watch.
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of it happening down in Shore Acres. If I could go throw the time lapse up for 6 months, we would see a few properties get lifted up. But yeah, that's it. That's a good question. That's a really good question. Awesome.
And how long does that take?
What's that?
How long would that take to do?
I don't know. I don't know anybody personally that's doing it, but they're doing all over Shore Acres. We should call and ask. Because I really don't know.
Interesting.
Yep. It is interesting. So we'll see. We will see. All right, let me say hello to everybody else who's jumping in. Oh my man, there's so many people. Green Ranger, what's up? Good evening, sir. Gold Star. Love it.
Yeah. Check.
Mrs. Cook is in the house. The Midwest is the best. I love that. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, the Southwest coast of Florida is the best now because that's where y'all are coming. So, but yes, you are bringing the best with you. I love that. It's fantastic. Jane says, I thought placing a hurricane impact door and window are required when building a new house. No, they are not a requirement. You can have shutters. That is another option. There's multiple variations of that as well. There's all kinds of different types of shutters, but no, it's not a requirement. It may be in specific municipalities, like right on the beach, but just because you're in Florida, it's not required. Or just because you have a new home. We saw, Stacy, a majority of the new construction that our clients purchased don't have hurricane impact, correct?
I would say yes. They don't have the shatterproof. They have the hurricane impact.
Well, they usually have shutters.
I think they're kind of going away from that.
That's good. That's good. But yeah, those are the options. But it's not a requirement. Is the big question?
But I mean, the builders want to provide those little extras, you know, as a perk to go with them.
The cost is significantly more for impact windows, y'all. It's not just a little bit. It's a lot. It's like double, which is a huge number when you start talking about 10, 15, 20 windows. It can get crazy really quick. So definitely something. But if you can get help and it makes sense for you, if you're open to that, getting involved in the grant program could be a good spot for you. Okay, Stacy, what else we got here? We got, hey guys, we are currently in Pennsylvania, looking to relocate to Tampa, approximately 20 minutes to Clearwater Beach. I'm not sure which community would be best for us. Where can we research the different areas? Well, our YouTube channel is where you can research the different areas. If you want to be 20 minutes to Clearwater Beach, you need to be in Pinellas County. Okay, so that's the county I live. I'm 20 minutes away from Clearwater Beach, 7 minutes away from Indian Rocks Beach in Southwest Largo. So 20 minutes to Clearwater Beach is going to be Clearwater, Largo, Dunedin. That's it. That's as far as you can get away to be 20 minutes from Clearwater Beach. And if you are planning on going to the beach during season, Clearwater Beach is 20 minutes away from Clearwater Beach. Sometimes it's a half hour away. And for those of you who have been to Clearwater Beach,
that's not walking.
yeah, in the car. No, you'll see everybody else walk by you, but you'll be sitting in the car, right? Yeah. If you've never been to Clearwater Beach during spring break, or if you've ever been, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Just the roundabout alone is like 20 minutes. So like, yeah, but if you get out of the car, you're gold.
Yeah, for sure.
You're gold. Yeah, absolutely. That's funny. Desi, good evening. Good to see you. Desiree's in the house. I love it. Guys, Treasure Island Beach is the best beach, but you didn't hear that from me. There you go. Love it. Love it. All right. The community is always awesome here. Oh, we appreciate it. Okay. Let me get back to what we were sharing over here. So let me get over to the Florida Elevate thing which we were at. Another thing, Stacy. Now, I know everybody asks us also about what's the big three questions that we always get? We get hurricanes, which we just talked about a little bit. What else do we get?
Alligators.
Yep. And then what's the one that starts with an I that everyone is terrified?
Insurance.
Yeah. Everyone is afraid of insurance more than sharks and alligators, just so you guys
Hey, I have to tell you though, for the first time, I was showing a house this weekend and we walked out onto the lanai and there was an alligator like 10 feet away.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Did the showing end?
He was so still, we didn't even see him at first.
Yeah.
And that was the freaky part.
Were you with the family? I don't know who you were with. Who were you with?
Yeah, I was with David and Joyce.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they have little kids with them?
No little kids.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I've been on one showing where there were kids and there was a gator, and that ended the showing. They're like, and we're all set. And the home, Stacy, what was the best was the homeowner was there, which is, oh, listen, y'all, if you are a homeowner, please don't be home when we're showing the houses. It's awkward and the buyers don't know what to do. Like they get very anxious because they can't say what's on their mind, right? And they can't live in the house. And remember, you're trying to sell them the thing, right? And the homeowner was there, and we all walked outside. And I walked out first and I turned left, and the retention ponds were fairly dry. They were down about 4 feet, and it was just laying on the mud on the side. And it was a good 4.5 feet long. Yeah. And I stopped immediately, and the mom walked up next to me. And she's like, "Is that what I think that is?" And I was like, "No, that's not what you think. It definitely is what you think it is, right?" And I looked at, and then her husband walks out, and he looks at me like mortified, like, "Oh, dude, this is done." Like I could see it in his eyes, you know. And I turn and look at her. She's like, "We're done here." And and we walk inside, and the homeowner's like, he's like, "Did you guys get a chance to see Snoopy?" And the kids were like, "Well, who's Snoopy?" He's like, "Oh, the alligator." And she's like, "Yeah, we saw it. We're all set. Thanks very much." You know, it was like, we are all done. So I bring that up because like living on a retention pond is not for everybody.
Yeah.
Right. And there's no guarantees you're going to see one every day. But if you got water and you can't see the bottom, you should assume that there's something in there. Yeah. If you don't have turtles and you don't have ducks, something's happening over there.
Yeah, that's right. So that was the first time it ever happened. I was like shocked. Yeah. And there wasn't much of a backyard. I mean, I'm serious. There was like maybe 20 feet from the lanai to the pond, and he was just sitting right there. It was crazy. But as soon as he heard us, he scurried. I mean, he jumped back in. Yeah. He was scared.
That usually happens. They're afraid of us, guys. They're more afraid. But we're gonna get in the insurance thing. I promise. That's where we're headed with this. So we got sidetracked. That wasn't you. That was me. I got tangent on the story. This is great. Because we both had the same experience now. So shout out to Stacy and I. After all these years in Florida, we finally showed a gator. It was fantastic. All right. Dominic says, moving to this area in the fall. Can't wait. Well, we're excited to have you, man. Congratulations. Let me see. Jane says, yes, we have a couple of hurricane windows and doors. They are pricey. Our backyard is in the cove. Oh, did I stop it? No, our backyard is in a cove. In Lake Paget. Okay, perfect. Yeah, sorry, we screen bumped there for me. Yeah, I mean, depending on where you are, this is really where, you know, things are going to matter. When you're really close to the coast, it's very wise to have impact windows. There's no doubt about that. But the further you get away, you typically do not have as strong as winds because the winds are very focused in a small area. They get very broad, but they're really scary hurricane force winds. Those 3s and 4s, they're usually in a really tight location. So good question, though. It was a really good comment, too. What's going to be built in St. Pete if the race deal? That's a good question, dude. This has been on and off for months. Like, I don't even feel like talking about it anymore because
I feel like it's since I moved here.
11
years ago.
It is now the running joke. If you go to any 20 things everybody in Tampa Bay knows that is never going to happen, it's the Rays doing anything, going anywhere. Like there's a deal on the table right now for a group in Tampa to buy them, but I don't know if they'll get moved. So great question, Dominic. We don't know. It's just another day in paradise over here. Jane says, I think we have an alligator because we are next to water, not looking forward to, on that. Yeah. You said you're living on a lake.
Yeah.
So you're definitely playing it in the pond over there, so to speak. Right. Okay. Let's get into the next topic we were talking about. All right. So this comes from the governor's office. Again, take this for what you will, but the reality is this is documented. So, I just say that, Stacey, because people get all squirrely. Like you mention somebody's name and all of a sudden it's like nothing they say can ever be true, even though that's what they do on a daily basis. And I'm not here to argue that with anybody. But again, this is all documented. You can see it. Governor DeSantis announces rate reductions for Miami-Dade County, auto insurance reductions statewide. And I told you I got mine last week and I had a reduction. Did you?
I did not, but we're not seeing what you're reading. We're still on the elevate.
My bad. Thank you for catching me. All right. My bad. Okay. So Governor DeSantis announces rate reductions for Miami-Dade County, auto insurance reductions statewide, and 11 new companies entering Florida's market.
Wow.
Yeah. And I shared, our insurance went down $300 this year, auto insurance, which is awesome. Okay. Because ever since I moved here, it's gone up. So that's the very first time. Hallelujah.
I'm jealous.
It happened.
I don't understand. The boys, their insurance went down, auto insurance went down, and the girl went up. Why?
Can we keep going? I should not comment on that at all.
No, I have no tickets, no accidents. It makes no sense.
Not going anywhere near that.
All
not.
Right.
Let us know in the comments if you know why the women's auto insurance went up this year. No, hold on. You asked me. I'm not answering this. If you're watching this now or you're watching this later and you know why the women's auto insurance increased this year in Stacey's household, but you don't know why the men's do, please let her know in the chat. Because I'm not touching that. You just asked me if that's like when my wife walks out and asks me if the clothes look good on her. Like, what am I supposed to say right now?
I'm supposed to answer. I'm just saying that I'm not wanting an answer.
Okay, understood. You're like, here, do something with this. I don't know what to do with that. Okay, all right, good point. I'm sorry that happened to you, though. Can I be empathetic about it? I'm sorry that happened to you. It's unfair. Okay. There's definitely a problem. Somebody needs to be talked to. All right. So today I announced, I being the governor, not Juan Alcalá, just so everybody knows. Today I announced Citizen Property Insurance will be instituting homeowners insurance premium decreases. Let me repeat that. Decreases for 3/4 of Miami-Dade and statewide, averaging 5.6%. I also was pleased to announce the significant rate reductions in auto insurance rates in Florida for companies like Geico, a 10.5% decrease, State Farm 6%, Progressive 8.1%, said Florida Governor DeSantis. Y'all, listen, I ain't mad at it. I don't care if it comes to the red side, the blue side, the purple side, the orange side, the alien side. I don't care what side the savings come from. I am here for it. What do you think, Stacey? Are you excited?
I'm excited for you.
Okay. Well, who's your insurer? Let's call and complain. Who do you got?
Yeah. Well, you know what? When was it that, how many years ago was it that all the insurance companies jumped ship?
For 2020.
2020? And
Yeah,
wasn't it
somewhere around
about
there.
11 companies that left the state?
Yeah, we've been like hanging out at even versus people leaving versus people coming in. Last year we were net positive 3 because we covered this on another live stream. We net positive 3. We increased 3 insurance companies last year. So I'll get those numbers for everybody when we get a chance to, because I think it's it will be important to cover. Just so everybody's on the same page with that. But yeah, what a big win. Again, don't care what side of the aisle people are on when it comes to keeping our money in our pockets, the people who work for it and earn it. I'm a huge proponent of that every single time. So that's why the property tax thing is a big thing. I love the the grant programs. I feel twisted on it because I don't know if I'm going to apply for this or not, because I always feel bad about, like, for some reason, Stacey, I feel bad about getting my money back. That's how they make me feel, right? Like, it's my money. That money is there because you took it from us, right? And like, so I shouldn't feel bad about it, but like, that program is there for the Elevate Florida. If you're not aware of that, go back and rewatch this, because we were talking about this program. It's a great grant program to help mitigate water damage and previous storm damage. So keep an eye on that. We talked about the governor making mention of the the insurance rate reductions. Not every company reduced. So if you're listening to this, you need to check with your company. That's why I said Stacey needs to find out who her company is and then have a phone call and find out what's going on. Because she's a good negotiator, y'all. I've listened to this woman negotiate before.
Yeah, we weren't with any of those companies.
Understood. Well, we got to work on that.
Yeah.
That's
on my list to do first thing tomorrow morning.
There we go. Yeah, let's hey, could be another trip to the salon.
That's
right.
Definitely well worth it.
It is well worth it. And last week we covered the My Safe Florida Home. This was another grant program that we covered last week, but this was also to help people on installation of hurricane impact resistant doors and windows and shutters. This was another grant program. 29,000 homeowners received up to $10,000 when this program kicked off. It's open again. Again, once the money's gone, it's gone. So that's how these grant programs work. They may refund this at a different point, but it's important to understand, like, if you are a Florida homeowner, or if you're someone moving to the area right now and these interest you at all, jump on these programs right away, because they're going to go away once the money's gone. All right. And if we're going to be canceling property taxes in the state, I don't foresee a whole lot of extra programs floating around. They're going to tell you to take that money you're saving every year and fix your house, right? So just keep that in mind as we navigate those waters specifically. Love that. Awesome. Craig says Stacey knows. My man. Again, I'm not touching that. Not going near it. Jane's always got great questions. You have a list of the insurance companies. The ones that were listed on that were on the governor's press page. Let me put that in the chat for you guys too. Put that in there. And it said Geico, State Farm, and Progressive. There may be more, but that's the one. You could probably find something. You dig into the article more, there's more in there. I don't want to read it to everybody. Bore them to tears. Politician speak is never any fun. You can get into that for sure. But Stacey, I know we want to talk about some local stuff. So y'all, if you're tuning in late, thanks for joining us. We try to make this as collaborative as possible. Feel free to ask your questions. If you're considering relocating the area, or you just want to know what our favorite restaurants are, that's what we're here to talk about tonight. Happy to serve our community and the community. Love hanging out with you guys. We're going to get into some local stuff, because I know there's some new stuff coming to Wesley Chapel that we want to talk about for sure. Because one of them is the relentless, endless question. 1A, 1B, 1A didn't get answered yet. We'll talk about that too as we get into that. Vlad says, why can't we replace the Rays with another theme park? No, we don't need another theme park. We definitely do not need another theme park there. There will be no parking. All right. You'll have to park in Sarasota to get to there. You don't want to do that, but interesting theory. All right, Stacey, pretty cool news and notes here. We tried to get to this last week, but we never got to it. So let me share this. All right. Whole Foods.
Could it be true?
Dun, dun, dun. Whole Foods and Lifetime Fitness, which happens to be my favorite fitness club. I really miss our Lifetime Fitness that we had back in Michigan. God, I miss Lifetime. But also Lifetime Fitness is coming to Wesley Chapel. And that is some exciting stuff. Now, why are we like so stoked on that? Why is that a big thing? Because Stacy, how many people, again, 1A question is, where is the Trader what?
Joe's.
Yeah,
Trader
that's
Joe's.
that's the one everybody wants to know. Where's the Trader Joe's? Well, Wesley Chapel, out of all the things that Wesley Chapel has so far, including like the largest Target in the world that they're built, whatever is going on over there, they don't have a Trader Joe's yet, but they are solving at least one problem. We're getting a step closer, and now you can have you're going to have a Whole Foods. Yeah. So location here, the proposal, Stacy, is over off of Bruce B. Downs. So it's right on the border between there and New Tampa. So it's going to be on that southeast quadrant of the city there, right? Close to like Zephyr Hills too, right? That's where that whole connection gets made.
It's going to be across the street from where the old Target is. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
Diagonal from there. Yeah.
Yeah, so Whole Foods and Lifetime Fitness. And if you're not familiar with Lifetime Fitness because you don't have them in your area, it is one of those like, what was the movie with Ben Stiller where he ran a place called Globo Gym? Do you remember that movie, Stacy?
I'm horrible at movies. Like
man, that's
I would have to ask Death. Have we seen that movie? I can't remember.
Was it Dodgeball? I think it was Dodgeball.
Maybe it was Dodgeball.
Yeah, I think it was Dodgeball. And in tangent, I know, sorry, this is Juan. If you know me, this is where it's at. There's this movie called Dodgeball, Ben Stiller and Vince Vaughn, and they face off in Dodgeball. And Ben Stiller runs this gym called Globo Gym. And in my mind, they were directly making fun of Lifetime Fitness. And we loved Lifetime. I don't know what that says about me. I'm so sorry. I don't know what else to say. But like, it was the only gym, Stacy, where we could they had childcare. And it wasn't like there's 2 little slides in the room and 1 person and 44 kids and everybody's holding on for dear life. They literally had like a full staff. And the kids were like locked in like feral animals. Like you couldn't get them out unless you had like a wristband and you checked in and they had ID and like, but for 2 hours, 2 glorious hours, 5 times a week, you could drop your children in that bath of bacteria and viruses and go exercise or read in the cafe or go swim or go get in a hot tub. You could do adult things. And y'all, I have 3 young children. So if you're not resonating with me right now, I apologize, but I'm just sharing how glorious that was.
And that's motivation to go work out. Right.
I'm telling you, right? So we got a lot done then. And when we left that, we came down here. And the one thing we do not have is a Globo Gym yet. So am I going to drive 55 minutes or an hour to Wesley Chapel to go into it? No, one is not going to do that. Right. But if I go hang out with clients and I just so happen to stop by Lifetime, it's a good day. It's a good day.
Yeah.
They got a cafe in there. You know, they got all the things, racquetball and tennis ball and wall climbing. It's
pickleball.
It's a Globo Gym.
Yeah.
You got it all. It's awesome. What else we got going on, Stacey? I know you mentioned the Lord's Chicken.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A it's actually starting to look like a restaurant. We got cement block up. So they are expecting to open in May over here in Epperson, which that is big news over here because we have not had all those conveniences.
Oh, it's not working.
So we just got a Publix, about a year ago?
Yep.
On the corner. Starbucks opened, and now Chick-fil-A and a Swig.
What is a Swig?
Isn't that the like dirty soda place?
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember now. Okay. All right. Totally forgot about that. And thank you for reminding me about that. Yeah, there it is. Delicious is coming soon. I love it. And listen, if you listen to the Southern thing, I get it. Now, Chick-fil-A has spread its wings. I know that they've got some in Michigan. When I left, they were installing them there. I know it's all over the place, but like people, this is a thing. When you move to Florida, Just get used to it. You're going to Chick-fil-A. McDonald's parking lots empty. Chick-fil-A blown out. It's a whole different world.
Yep. And I'm telling you, if you want to open a business, if you want to open an ice cream store or a pizza place up here in Epperson, you're going to make a killing.
Yeah.
Because of all the golf carts, all the teenagers,
Yep.
that'd be a great place for an ice cream store.
Yep, no doubt. Abby said, Trader Joe's, please. Yes.
See?
It's coming, Abby. There's too many people begging for it. There's no way it's not going to show up, but we just don't have plans on it yet. We will notify everyone once that Trader Joe's is live in Wesley Chapel. Love it. David says, late to the party tonight, but wanted to thank Stacy for showing us around Saturday and Sunday, including the alligator sightings. He's the best.
Yep. I told him, David, it was the first time I saw an alligator at a showing.
Yep. And hey, you too can be shown alligators by Stacy. All you have to do is jump. Just jump in our calendar, y'all. When you arrive on the webpage, it'll look just like this. It'll be exciting. You can, schedule a time to see a gator right here. That's fantastic. No, I'm kidding. But if you are watching this later and you want to connect with us, if you're interested in buying, selling, relocating the area, the link takes you right here. And this will allow you to schedule a call in my calendar. As a matter of fact, there's just a few questions based upon what you're trying to accomplish so we can understand that. But feel free to jump in there, y'all. Just go ahead and schedule that call. If you're looking up in Pasco County and Lakewood Ranch and other areas, Stacy's I call her the new construction queen, but she sells everything. She's a real estate gangster is all you need to know. That's the reality of it. She's my right-hand gal when it comes to making sure our clients are taken care of. And clearly, even David is excited about gator showing. So she's doing something right out there. Right. She's doing something. Yeah. Sounds like it. Thanks, man. Thanks for letting us know that. Again, people love to talk about when the bad things happen, but they don't always share when things are well. So thank you for letting us know that, I know she's amazing, but I'm glad you were able to experience that too. So thank you. Appreciate that, brother. All right. Jeff says, hello from Nashville, parish bound in a few weeks. We worked with Sky hard on Valentine's Day, but she was amazing. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. I'll make sure I pass that along to her as well. And for those of you wondering, like, who's Sky? All I ever see is Stacy. And then this talking clown just never stops talking. I know. I can only do so many things at a time, but we've shared with you guys before that, last year, we lost one of the greatest human beings on this planet. We lost Marcia, and we shared that. And I'm not afraid to continue to say that, because I don't think anybody should lose track of her memory. And people still reach out to me like, hey, Marcia was helping, would love to connect. And I love that stuff. So I just want to say thank you for trusting us, but also we've grown so much because of you guys. So many people. I mean, I was just sharing with Stacy that you guys have scheduled 58 Zoom calls with us in the last 30 days alone, which is that's
amazing.
Phenomenal. It's amazing. The first year I did this, I don't think I had 30 or 50 calls. It was somewhere in between that. I have to go back and look, but I don't even know if I did that the first year that we had the YouTube channel up. Last year, you scheduled 400 of them. And if this keeps up, it's going to be like 6. So we have needed to grow. So thank you for sharing that. You had a great experience, Jeff. We will pass it along. I'm sure she's watching, actually. So shout out, Sky. Sky's amazing. Sky. Yeah. And thank you for letting us know. We appreciate that. And you all will meet the additional team members. Like I said, we're just slow to move because we love our community and we want to make sure that we've got the best people in place. And you'll see them. They're amazing. They will make their way onto the screen and you'll be able to connect with them. And I look forward to that. Heck, pretty soon, Stacy will be able to get rid of me and she can run the show with the ladies. It'll be exciting.
Let's slow down. Let's slow it down a little bit.
Ooh, Jane says, love good Cuban food. Is there a good mom and pop in Land O'Lakes? That I don't know. In Land O'Lakes specifically. So let me do some investigating because the Cuban food specifically in Land O'Lakes, I cannot speak to. I can tell you where to go get some great sandwiches and some good Cuban food, but not there yet. So we'll work on that. Jane, hold my feet to the fire. Make sure you come and ask Stacey about that next Tuesday. Okay. Awesome. Carol, good evening. She says, scheduled a call for Friday. Looking forward to it. Well, we're looking forward to it as well. We are looking forward to it. Adam, my man, he says Stacy rocks.
Adam, where have you been?
No, right? He's up freezing. I already know what he's doing. He's got the snow. Well, it was like 40 or 50 degrees for you yesterday, but I know you got that snow thrower out this year, dude. What is happening? We can fix that.
I don't know. I think he's been doing some traveling too.
That's probably true.
Get us updated what's going on with his life.
He's living the dream is what's happening. Yeah, thanks, brother. Good to see you, man. And Stacy does rock. We agree. Look at all the Stacy love. I love it. She said, Merlin says, I can second that Stacy is amazing. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you. You guys are so sweet tonight.
This is the
Don't
best.
tell him I was like paying you behind the scenes.
Lots of checks were written this week. She needs that insurance decrease. No wonder why you're calling first thing in the morning. Abby says those Zoom calls are proof that we can tell you that you're serving people. Oh, well, thank you. We appreciate that. Yeah, we love those calls, man. Like, again, that's the way that we help. We can't understand what people are trying to accomplish if we don't know what your goals are, right? And I'm going to be honest with everybody in this room right now. The house is not the most important thing. It is extremely important. Don't let me diminish that in any way. But I can get you 4 walls and a roof anywhere in this country, y'all. You're already living in one, right? You're not moving here. Most of you are not moving here because you don't have any other choice. Most of our clients move here because they choose to. They want that ideal lifestyle, and we're grateful for it. So that's what those calls really do. So thank you, Abby. I'm glad that you felt that, and that is important to us. So we appreciate it. I'm moving from San Diego. In construction, is there job opportunities out there? Yes, we're building like crazy, both commercially and residentially. It's insane. It's insane. Even with the things slowing down to what I would call a more normal pace, it's still nuts. Because road construction, dude, everything. I don't know where they're not building something right now. It's crazy. Oh, here we go. Abby, top 5 taco places. We'll try them all. All right. Yes. Well, number 1 for me is Casitas. Number 1 is Casitas all the way. Their tacos are fantastic. We're going to space out the other 4. I'll give you one a week. I'm not giving them away yet. I actually do have a Google map with food on it, by the way. So for those of you who are our clients, if you really want the hookup, that's how you get it.
Oh no, we're gonna be talking about food. Watch out.
Hey man, you know the deal. I'm a fat kid.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Watch out.
Can't help it. Danielle, we missed Tampa and Taco Tuesday. We'll have to watch up after upload. Yeah, no problem. Love it. Green Major, yeah. Most important thing is a big lanai. That's right, my man. Big lanai, screened in. Make sure you get it screened in. And we've talked about that for sure. Want to make sure we've got it dialed in. Look at this, man. We've had such a great experience with both so far. Thanks, Elizabeth. We appreciate it. Stacy's getting all the love tonight. Like this woman, listen, when we started this, Stacy, can I tell the story? I've already put you on the spot. Too bad. Yeah, I'm terrible at asking. Do you remember when we started? And somebody made a really rude comment, right? And they were so rude. And I'm not going to make the comment because I don't think first of all, it's not true and it's not fair. But they were so endearing of Marsha that night, which was wonderful. So we were all like in the best mood. And then they like totally took a dump on Stacy. And I was like, what just happened here? Right. And Stacy was like, she loves people. So she was devastated, right? She was devastated. And I remember Marsha, she's like, oh my God. She's like, I'm sure she called Stacy up. They were such good friends, right?
Well, so Marsha was about ready to go fight for me.
Yeah. Sounds right. You don't mess with Marsha's people.
On the gloves.
Yep. You don't mess with Marsha's people, right? So like she was pretty upset. So what I will say is to see this come completely full circle right now. I'm like a proud father. This 29-year-old young lady is just doing such an excellent job with you and our clients. We're just so grateful. So thank you for letting us know. We didn't come in here fishing for this evening, but man, I am so glad to see this coming through. Steve, my man, good to see you, brother. All right. He says, thank you for the shout out to my girl. Of course. Yeah. Yes, and we are all proud of Stacy. That is it. And Steve is Marsha. Marsha's significant other, her husband. Man, I could listen to that guy talk about his wife endlessly. And it's one of my favorite memories was sitting on top of the restaurant in St. Pete while we were having cocktails, waiting for our dinner reservations with clients. And Steven was sitting there. And Stacy, his face, like, it was like you could see somebody taking you back in time. Have you ever been in that space where like you know that they're there? And he was telling the story how he met Marsha, and it was just like, oh man, it was one of those moments where it was like it made me feel great because it's how I felt about Kate when we got together. You know, I'm sure it's how Jeff felt about you. Shout out to Jeff, right? And it was one of those moments that I will never forget. So thank you for sharing that with us, brother. I appreciate that a ton. Gotta be what? What do we gotta be? What am I missing there? Love to know, Steve. All right. PM Michael says, what is the best course of action to research communities and areas, for an example, near hospitals, post office, groceries, just to name a few? Well, just the short list right off the top is Wesley Chapel. You got a hospital every like 6 miles. They're known for that. You got all the amenities galore there. Tampa, St. Petersburg, those are areas that are definitely going to be in the mix there. Bradenton, Sarasota, those are areas that'll get you to that too, as well, Michael. So, you know, plenty of great spots. Lots of, you know, we got really good hospital systems. We also have ones that need some work too. So everybody keep that in mind. But we do have some great hospital systems and a lot of newer amenities. The nice thing about being in an area that is growing the way it is a lot of our hospital facilities are like new or newer. Right. And where I came from, you know, Henry Ford was like 100 years old. The hospital was an old building and it's beautiful, but like, you know, you don't, you know, you small bathrooms and, you know, you just get into all that stuff. So being in new things can be nice. So great question, man. Great question. Mr. Jackson. Stacey, I'll let you take this one.
Good evening. Hey, Stacy, what are some things that you like about living in Wesley Chapel? Also, what is another nice beach that is closer to Wesley Chapel without having to travel down to St. Pete? What I love about Wesley Chapel is that, well, a couple things. One, that you're close enough to the city if you're wanting to get into the city, but you're far enough away not to be in the hustle and bustle of everything. And two, Wesley Chapel has everything I need within 15 minutes to run my household. So everything is so convenient, not just, you know, retail and restaurants, but, you know, all the doctor's appointments, and vet appointments and groomers. I mean, everything that you need is just down the street.
Yep. Yeah.
And a beach. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say a beach closer.
Epperson Lagoon.
Yeah, you can get the beach to your backyard right there.
That is the closest beach. There is no close beach where you got to go to Fred Howard Park. You're talking about an hour.
Not the same.
Yeah. Dunedin, you can go over to Honeymoon Island. That's going to be about an hour and 10 minutes. And Clearwater Beach is going to be anywhere from an hour to an hour and 20.
Yeah. So I feel like if you're going to go 45 to an hour, you might as well just go to the nice real beaches. Yeah.
Yep. Agreed. Adam says, I remember that night. That guy was very rude. I agree. That is a very polite way to say it, but we're being diplomatic at best right now. But welcome to live streaming, right? You gotta take the good with the bad. We agree. Michael says, awesome. Thanks. You're welcome, sir. Appreciate that. And Green Ranger says that he is still torn on already built new versus pre-owned homes. Pre-owned houses seem more affordable and check more boxes. Am I crazy? Dude, it really depends on neighborhood and lifestyle. I know we talked a lot about this on the Zoom call, but the prices of new construction are typically less right now because they also come along with closing cost incentives, which, you know, so we're seeing on the low end, what, 15 grand?
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple communities that's just giving 10.
Yep.
But majorities, at least 15.
Yeah. But it's really, dude, it's really personal preference. Some people love established communities and there's nothing wrong with that. Like I do. I'm somebody who prefers that. So this is a great question that, you know, a lot of our clients do ask. Most of the time people end up choosing new because most people like new. And it's become so comparable in terms of resale. And it's never been that way before.
Yeah.
Right. It's always been to build was more expensive forever. But right now it's on par. Right. If I'm going to go get a four bedroom, 3.5 bath with a pool that's 3,000 square foot in Lakewood Ranch, I'm going to pay
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to pay for that. So it's going to be expensive, in the neighborhoods that we want to look at. That's going to be, $800,000 plus. Most of the time it's going to be 1.3. Now, can you do it for way less? Absolutely. But what I'm saying is like, they're not much different. It just depends on what you prefer. And sometimes those established neighborhoods are really hard to pass up because they just feel great. The old growth oak trees in them. And like, we just don't have a whole lot of that anymore. Right, Stacey? You got to go to like specific neighborhoods. Starkey Ranch is a great example of that in Odessa. They did a really good job of keeping the green space and the trees and as much as they could. And like, it just feels like the neighborhood was carved into the surrounding area, not clear cut and then replanted. So those are the things that I think make those new communities not always feel great. If you like, an established vegetation and community, then that's a way to go. But it's a great question, man. It's definitely worth asking. And I think you should be asking that before you make your move. You want to get it right the first time. So that's the big focus there.
That's why it's so important to come and just explore the different communities, because they do have total different feels.
Yep. And
you just got to see it for yourself.
Yeah. That's why people love Fishhawk too, because it feels that way. Fishhawk Ranch feels very much like that also. So there's different options in the area. West Chase, that's another one why people like the way that feels.
Yeah.
You've got Bella Lago and Wesley Chapel. That very much feels that way. Or is it Bellagio, right? It feels that way. It's an established neighborhood. It feels wonderful. I love it too. Awesome. Okay. There's one more question here. Kennedy says, know all the issues that condos have, like assessment and insurance. What is the best and newest condo I can buy with $300K? A perfect location would be 20 minutes from the beach and the airport. Oh, look at that. I'm open to, what do you say? I'm open to a brand new house, but my budget is $400K and not many out there. No, not 20 minutes to the airport and 20 minutes to the beach for $400K. For a new home, a single family home, that would be very, very, I haven't seen one. Maybe Stacey would know, but I don't know of anything that close to the beach. You're going to be condo. Now, newest in condos in Pinellas County don't necessarily go in the same sentence. But
there's a sacrifice. You got to, you're not going to be able to check all the boxes.
But there are some. They're building some right now in Seminole. That's right about that location. That's going to be 20 minutes and 25. You can be closer to 30 minutes to the airport from there. It's kind of centralized, but there's no perfect location on what you're asking for. But pretty close within range, Kennedy. So reach out to us, man. Our contact info is in the chat there specifically. And I'll put it in there one last time for everybody. That way they can check this out. So again, if you guys want to connect with us, jump on that Zoom call so we can kind of get you pointed in the right direction. Feel free to do that. If you're watching this later, the link will be in the description down below. And then if you're with us live right now, you can just click on that link and it'll take you right here. And it'll say schedule a time in person in Zoom. Make sure you bring your significant other. Listen, y'all, I can't tell you how many times grown married men have shown up in front of me without their wives. And
don't do it. Don't do it.
Straight from the horse's mouth. Now,
bad idea.
Yeah. In all fairness, usually it's because she was working or something came up. Like, we get it, right? But the reason I'm emphasizing this is because I got to be honest with y'all. Can I just be transparent with my audience here? Listen, I live where my wife said we were going to live, right? We're renovating the house in the way that she said she wants it renovated. And yes, she has asked me for my input. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and flex and say I want to make her happy, right? So like, I realize that may not be everybody's position, but most of the men that I serve in terms of our business, very similar. And the boss will usually walk in late and she'd be like, yeah, we start talking about houses and then like they gracefully bow out of the conversation. The men usually do. And then, the lovely lady will carry that portion of the conversation. And I say that tongue in cheek, but really, honestly, this is, of course, it's a family decision and we want to honor those things. And I just said that to make a joke, but I am reminding any man who wants to do that without his wife, Whew, you are a brave man. I hope you've got dinner lined up. You've already had the discussion, and you've got strict marching orders before you come into that. And ladies, we're here. We're just letting you know that we've already coached them and counseled them appropriately. So if they show up that way, I can't control that, right? Neither can Stacy. We need both parties to make sure you guys are on the same page. But appreciate everybody who's reached out to us so far this year. Like I said, 58 Zoom calls scheduled in the last 30 days. If y'all think that people aren't moving to Florida still, if that doesn't show you, I don't know what will. That's phenomenal, right? It blew my mind. I opened that up this morning, and we felt busy, but I was like, man, it seems like this is a little out of the ordinary. And God bless Stacy. She's running around with 2 or 3 families every weekend right now. And now they're starting to come during the week. And we love serving y'all. So I know hopefully it doesn't sound like we're complaining. Hopefully it sounds like we're appreciating every one of you, because we are grateful that you guys trust us, and we're happy to help you through that situation, your relocation. Always. Jane says that's true. Wives usually make decisions. Husbands in the end always smile and say yes to you. Well, the ones who really like their marriages are hey.
The smart ones, the really smart ones. Yeah.
I've been educated. Let's put it that way. I'm still learning, of course. Babe, if you're watching this, understood. But I love that woman. I worship the ground she walks on. Just like when Stephen was talking about Marsha. Like I said, the reason that made me smile is because it's how I spoke about Kate, and the fact that they were doing it after that time period was the thing that I was like, oh, that's so exciting to be able to say that. And it's awesome. So I appreciate that. For those of you who can't read the small print, Brian says that's why we tend to do the driving. Touché, sir. My wife is a passenger princess as well. She's an excellent driver, but when we go out of town, I like to drive. In all fairness, I do like to drive. But yeah, that's so funny that you said that, dude. That's fantastic. All right, it is 8:12. We are shutting it down, y'all. Thanks for hanging with us all evening. If you're watching this later, I'll put the resources in after YouTube uploads this. If you're watching this on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn later as well, come check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. We make videos that are all things Tampa Bay. We love serving the community. Obviously, our community is engaged here, and we're happy to spend time with you guys. It's getting better by the minute. Love my honey. Yes, Jane. Awesome. You told us you're building your lake house. Like we know that you trained somebody up over there. And I don't know your husband's name, but tell him he should be a counselor of some sort for young men. There's no doubt about that. And then shout out to Abby for this one. This was great. Listen, I can't believe people complained about the community last week. Well, they were complaining about me. They weren't complaining about you. They were complaining about me. But this is the best part. We love you guys. We love you guys. And amen to this. Happy wife, happy life. And I've heard people say that that's complete crap. And I bet they're single now. I don't know much, but I'm betting that. All right, y'all. We say it every single week. Go out
and live that Tampa life.
Have a great evening. You guys take care.